Well, Theo, the trip in Australia has been what for you? An eye-opener? You've been to every sport imaginable down here and you've taken in some football as well. How have you perceived how we get about it and enjoy our sport down here?
To be honest, I always feel sport really does connect a lot of people, and what I've noticed, the fact you guys have to get up in the early hours to watch the English Premier League is incredible passion and the support network there, so it's great to actually be able to see it firsthand as well. Going to other sports when I'm trying to learn the rules of certain games, but to witness like the Roosters with Alex Johnston with the tries, with the record, the AFL.
Did that blow your mind, the try-scoring night?
Do you know what blew my mind was the fact that how civil everyone just got back into their seats. Yeah. And I was like, in a Premier League game in England, that game is abandoned, you're losing points, you're getting a fine in the club. Yeah. But it was kind of like allowed access to, just do it, as long as everyone gets back, and the games continue. But what I was really amazed with was the mental attitude with the Roosters, the way they'd be able to just come back and win the game, because sometimes that could really kind of put you off. So it just shows they've got some good characters in that team. So, but yeah, what an experience, and going to fan fest, meeting grassroots football teams with the kids, and essentially that's where we want to see the kids, the young ones playing football. The right shaped ball in my eyes. Yeah. No, but it's been an eye opener. But it's great to actually come out here and bring the Premier League with Stan Sport as well. It's been an incredible experience. Yeah, and you've been great with everyone. I've witnessed it all, and nothing's too much trouble for you. So you're the perfect ambassador in your football afterlife to do that kind of thing. You went to AFL footy as well, and I warned you before you went. You said this is going to be an experience, and it might take you a bit to comprehend what's going on. How do you view it? Because it's Australia's own kind of invention. There you go, sport. Have this to throw into the mix, and it's played only here. But did you go away scratching your head as well, or did you get the hang of it? Well, I picked your brain a little bit before, didn't I? And I was picking Dan's at Stan Sport next to me as well. It took me time to understand what was going on, but to be fair, I got the sense watching people when they were jumping out and roaring like it was a foul, and marks, and the pitch is just massive though. I didn't realise how big it was until I actually went onto the MCG field and met some of the guys. Because I'm up in the stands, and I'm kind of one of those fans. I'll just kick it in and make it from there. It is so big, the pitch. They have 18 players on each side. They're big guys, and it was different. It was different, but it was fun. It's quite an engaging game. You can't switch off. But I just said to the guys, I don't know how you play for that long, because I just felt it was a long game. Because it's like, I think the ball needs to be in the play for a certain amount of time. In soccer, football back home, sometimes it's only in play for a half, not even that. But no, it was fun because MCG as well is like a bucket list. Not so much for the cricket for me, Ashes. However,
hey, you won there.
I know, yes, we have, but we also
only because of the long grass. I don't know if you know that story, but anyway.
But even like just the history was, going outside seeing Shane Warne's, the statue and everything, and what a cricketer he was. So it was great. I loved every minute of it.
But while you've been here, you have been taken in an Arsenal game.
Yes.
We've watched that at our hours, not your hours in the UK, but the passion was definitely there. You were surrounded by Arsenal fans when Max Dowman went streaking over halfway by himself into an empty goal to win it 2-0. I don't know if you noticed the pictures of him going back to school the next day. He walked back into school and they gave him the applause, the tunnel and everything like that. His life's changed. You can comprehend it because your life changed as a teenager when you got signed by Arsenal. What do Arsenal do with this kid? Because they know he's good, but how do they make him one of the greats?
I think they just continue doing the right steps in his development. I think the fact he's got some incredible players around him, got a young manager that he can relate to in some ways. They've managed him really well. He started training for the first team at 14. First team, that's just so already.
Why did they do that to him?
Well, he's ready. Yeah. I always felt like it's kind of to test him in that environment to see if he'll be able to cope. Because essentially, they want to try and build this structure and this person as well as the player, if he can cope with it in the right environment. And I think it was just picking the moments when they can do it. But like Mikel said, with the game itself, he had a gut feeling. And I think the Premier League is all about moments. And I think that was a massive moment for not just Arsenal to win the league, but for him personally as well. Just back away from my England record. No, I'm all good. No, his record's there to be broken. I mean, the hat-trick one I scored against Croatia, but he's got time for that. But Do you know what? I just love the fact he just plays that freedom, he accesses that, and he kind of plays how everyone wants to see the game when you watch it from afar. And I think that's refreshing in this modern game.
Give us an indication, because obviously our footy stars out here, and the odd football player as well, like Sam Kerr, for instance, she'll be recognised wherever she goes. The footy players in Melbourne, the NRL players in Sydney, you know, hey mate, how you going? We're a pretty laid-back culture, but over there, in that environment, Max, I don't know how much he'll just interact. It's not like he has to go down the shops, he still lives at home. His parents can go out and get things, but how does he be as normal as possible in an abnormal lifestyle?
I would probably say biggest advice is to do things yourself, like, you know, doing your road tax, doing your insurance, doing all these things. It will help him build as a man as well in time, and don't just sit back and let everything do it for you, because that's one thing when players. Luckily, I'm quite clued on, so I knew what I was doing. But some players struggle after football and they don't know how to even manage anything. So I would say maybe get on top of that. You know,
but that comes from your parents, yeah? You had a good upbringing.
Yeah, absolutely. However, he's essentially the decision maker, and it's to be brave in that environment, because when you've got loads of people telling you to do this, do that, you'll make the right decision, and then maybe trust people around that will help you and guide you through that. He's got a good family network behind him. I'm sure he's going to have the right people communicating. However, look, I've been there, so I'm always, if he wants to talk to me about anything, I'm here to help. Absolutely, no minute. I wouldn't mind doing that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. You've walked in those shoes, literally, signing for Arsenal as a 16-year-old. You're in a side that nearly got there a couple of times, didn't quite. This reincarnation of Arsenal, it looks like they have all the pieces, and it's good for a kid like Max Dowman. He's walking into a team that's strong rather than walking in to be the saviour. Arsenal, is it one hand on the trophy at this stage, or is it too early for that?
Really good point you say about being in their team that's really dominating right now. I think that was, you know, that was the moment for me. I do feel Man City are always going to continue to drop points still. They're in a transition. They're in a phase where you're not quite sure what team you're going to get with them. They've got a few guys that have had experience win the league, and of course Arsenal have had players that have, you know, everyone looks disappointed when they finish second with, you know, 3 years in a row, and that's more growth for me. I look for the team to be able to get where they want to be, because they want to dominate for years, like Man City have.
Yeah.
And I think the pattern's changed, and I think now Arsenal will be that team. I do believe that. That's just how I see it. And I think you get a sense from the whole nation of Arsenal fans, should we say, and worldwide, that it's happening. That'd be nice. Different name that trophy.
Professional football was your life for nearly 30 years. You retired a couple of years ago. 560 professional appearances. How did you then transition and did you have to fill a void without football? I mean, you've got a young family, so that helps. You live the quiet life. You don't live the fast lifestyle in the city. Did you find that hard, or were you always in the back of your mind knowing, I'm going to do this to navigate that? Because it is a problem for some guys and women as well.
No, it's important to have structure as well. We always kind of live to a routine. So I like to know kind of what I'm doing. So I kind of set my own calendar. Things come in. I love, you know, the punditry work back home with Sky, BBC and Prime. When I do those things, it's nice to fill in that as well. So it's a nice mixture. And then the family life, I get involved so much with the kids, because you miss so much as well when you're playing football, traveling all over the place. So it's nice to be present in that stance. You know, I train the young grassroots teams as well. So I do my, part of the community. Yep. And I mean, look, my hips all over the place, but I still ski quite well. So I do things that I couldn't do before as well. So
because you're not allowed, are you?
Couldn't ski, couldn't do motorbikes. Love motorbikes. I jump on those now and then. So I love
base jumping, parachuting.
Well, I love the adrenaline.
Bungee jumping.
I don't know if I'll do that though. I'm not sure. I've seen some videos that I'm not too keen on. But however, I do feel like it's just opened up the world where I can do other things and travel, and obviously meet you guys as well, coming out here and being with the Premier League as well, being associated with the league for so long, because it's a major part of my life. So to be able to really give back, because it's hard to get around players and to really invest of their mindset. So it's kind of nice to give an insight to how it was for me coming up, because it's been an absolute roller coaster. But it's been fun. But I live away from people, animals. It's great. That's what I love.
What's it like catching up with the players, the contemporaries? Is there this level of respect, or do rivalries still exist once you retire as a Premier League footballer? Do you get on with your Rio Ferdinand, John Terry type characters?
I play golf with JT quite a bit. Gareth Bale, play a lot with him. Do you feel like I'm the type of people I'm going to get on with though? That's the thing. Maybe I annoy
pretty
people.
laid back character.
No, but I'm very laid back, so I'm kind of try and find time for anyone. But the rivalries are more in the sport when we're playing against each other. So for instance, we're playing paddle against JT or whoever. Some of the competitiveness comes out of the players. Even yesterday, my birthday, I played a bit of pool in a local pub here, and I wanted to win. just in me.
Yeah.
And that's,
you didn't do a Wayne Rooney and break it over your knee.
No,
when that happened at World Cup camp.
That happened at
with
World
you,
Cup
didn't it?
camp. He's 19, broke the queue, which then we had no more queues. Well, we had one queue, we had to share it. So like no one would say anything. No one would say anything because he was just that kind of person. You wouldn't annoy him. But yeah, no.
Is he chilled out now though?
No, he's still winner. He's still got that mindset, and I don't think you can ever lose that. And don't lose it because it helps with the next generation as well. With kind of control it in the right way. The times he went overboard. However, what a player he was, probably the best I played with.
You played in an era, and Premier League throws up players all the time, icons. But you played in an era where you got Gerrard, Lampard, John Terry, all those guys, Gareth Bale. But in your dressing room, at times there was Fabregas, Thierry Henry. And you took his number, like he left 14, you stepped up and went. What happened when he came back to the club? Yeah. And you had 14, and he came back for that little spell at the end there. Did he go, oh, Theo, do you mind? Or he didn't broach the subject? What happened there?
No, to be fair, he didn't. He took number 12.
Yeah.
And there was kind of no words said about it. I think it's one of those, like, he had that time with that number and it's never going to get better. It just isn't. It's not the way it works. Like, I went back to Southampton and it was different. It was always going to be different. And I think he understood that coming back to the club. And I think what he could do was really give an insight to the thing away from the actual playing side as well. And just seeing his kind of presence around the club, how he influenced people, the way he spoke. But no, it was never spoken about the 14 with me having it. But I felt like if there was going to be one player after him to have it, I think I was probably the perfect kind of candidate for that.
Yeah.
And I hope I made it proud of him. But look, it was when I scored my first goal, actually, he signed my shirt and he said only 226 goals to go, and I was like, I got no chance there. So no, but what a man, what a player, absolute legend, best player I've ever seen. And I've been able to witness to play with, so I'm very lucky. Yeah,
incredible. And a teammate, you got to pass him the ball. That's an incredible memory. What about some of the characters? So Premier League footballers, they showed a tiny bit of character, and it seems it gets blown out of all proportion because the access is, it's over there. It's hard to actually explain it to Australian audiences about how much of a bubble you guys have to live in because it is so big and it is so passionate. But Andre Arshavin, Nicholas Bentner, Emmanuel Adebayor, from the outside looking in, these are former teammates of yours at Arsenal. They look like real characters that we probably don't know all the stories, and I don't expect you to give us all the stories, but just like a guy like Andre Arshavin, you were there the night he scored 4 at Anfield. You kind of set him up for 1 or 2. It's a real character.
Do you know what? Andre Arshavin was exceptional when he came to the club. Just small little stocky guy, maybe slightly overweight. And you're thinking, goodness me, this player can play. And what was really unique about him as well, so he scored those 4 goals, but just the person, he had a Bozzy laugh.
Mark Bosnich's laugh.
Mark Bosnich's laugh. He had a proper I don't know if you can find it, but generally it cracked me up, cracked everyone up. But he kind of separated football to his just personal life, and I think that's important to do. Just not always be in that mode. So he's great at separating it. But yeah, those 4 goals he scored at Anfield were just. He shocked himself when he scored 4. But what a player, what a man.
Last thing, mate. Arsenal win the title. Make you happy, man?
Yeah, not just me. I make that every Arsenal fan in Australia and the world, and particularly in England as well. Very, very happy. Mate,
pleasure having you here in Australia. Come back soon, and enjoy the rest of what's left of the trip.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching. Now, if you want more, subscribe to this channel on YouTube or hit up SEN Football on both Instagram and/or TikTok.